and it'll be Titan football. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. To throw is Mariota. And incomplete to open things up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Give him 30 yards there.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
They'll try to run for it with Henry. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not got much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him?
And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. Derrick Henry, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Titans have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And that makes the score 7-0. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Off of play action, it's Watson. And got his man complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one, 44 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Flush to his right, fighting him off. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Come back.
On 1st down, Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Richmond.
Here's Watson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked by Kevin Byard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Following the interception here, Mariota into a double team, and it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And he will have a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point safely through, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They keep it with Henry on first down. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Your trip is here, baby. Your trip is here.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. All going deep here for Taylor. And this is caught inside the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Derrick Henry, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Titans are able to strike for 6. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Flushed out right. And this one is incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Now Watson. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. With it is Jackson. With the former Volunteer Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Titans with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. The 20. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. It's a big run there by Henry. Give him 42 yards on the ground. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now because is he rewarding himself for a great run or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
He's going to get it running right. A great move, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing.
Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. In for the score. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. And, man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here's Watson. Forced out to his left. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Black 99, feel it. Tiger. Come back.
Watson on first down. Escaping the pressure right. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now it's Watson. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead.
Come back.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
4 down, check. Blue 18.
Second down, Mariota. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Mariota will need a big play after the sack as the Titans come up 3rd and long.
Hey, ready.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Tennessee after this. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Mariota hands to Henry. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still fourth down upcoming. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And here comes the Texans now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Tiger. Come back.
To throw on second is Watson. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. First down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on second down. Now they got to come up with something big here on third.
Third and long. It's Watson eluding the pressure right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Here's Jackson. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
Mariota now to throw on first down. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line. The Titans on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Mariota. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. And now out comes Houston. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Single. I got a single in the slot. Tiger. Come back.
On first down, it's Watson going deep for Hopkins. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will finally be taken down up at the 48. A big play there just before halftime. 43 yards. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. Watson going deep for Hopkins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And I do believe this is going to line up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Titans now. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys.
And the ball is knocked out, and the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
And his kick here is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And the Titans getting set to go. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Again, it's Henry. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try to throw now. Mariota, he's going to float this over the middle, deep. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
The Titans on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Mariota. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on that play for the Titans. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line.
57. Mike, 57.
Back to the ground now. It's Henry. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Double tight, double tight.
1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1 and up.
Mariota now on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On 3rd down, Mariota. Going for a right side here, complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Mariota gives to Henry. And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. Derrick Henry taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And that's off the mark, incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense. Right?
That's true. You've said that before. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And now out comes Houston. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Flushed out right. That is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Come back, come back. Come back, come back. Tiger, tiger, tiger.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 27. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Mariota on 1st down. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Jadeveon Clowney. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3.
Easy, 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 easy.
57's a mic.
Wide it up!
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
They'll run for it with Henry. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
Oh, he's not going to get it by much, but on 4th and 1, all you're worried about is moving the sticks. And here he's able to fight his way forward for a couple of yards, and that's all he needed.
Back now in Nashville. It's the Titans. They've got the football. They'll be looking to extend their lead here as we begin the 4th quarter. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That good for 19 and a 1st down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Mariota. This will be caught just inside the 10. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. To throw is Watson. And the pressure gets to him again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Come back, come back. Richmond, Richmond.
Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to air one out. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Watson now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10.
Tiger, Tiger, Tiger. Richmond, Richmond. Tiger, Tiger, Tiger.
On 1st down, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Watson, flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Come back, come back.
Watson now, throwing on 3rd and long. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you may want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A 1st down throw for Mariota. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. As his guys are in for 6. And the interception by the Titans D leads to a touchdown. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And the Texans set to come onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 28, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this game, has got to be priority one.
Now Mariota, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Derrick Henry. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that'll extend this lead now up to 25. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And now out comes Houston. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. He finds an opening past the 40. He's got Fuller. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Tiger.
On 1st and 10, Watson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Come back.
Watson on 1st down. Flushed out right. And now here's another interception. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The pitch to Henry. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team he's going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game, and how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're